right, guys. So we're gonna be talking about the cost of living, not just in the United States, but it's all over the world. So things are blowing up on how expensive things are right now. So let's see.
Living in this country is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently unsustainable. And there are people that they know this, but then they'll still look at somebody else that's struggling and then tell them they're not doing good enough. I want you to imagine somebody that makes $75,000 a year. That's a pretty high up wage in terms of like top earners in this country, $75,000 a year. And we're going to go through some things here. This is a person with no
Guys, not for nothing. Before COVID, 75,000 was a lot of money. No anymore. Right now, 75,000 is like the new 35 or 30,000.
no debt outside of a car. And please don't hit me with the you can go buy a car for. Shut up. You can't. Shut up. Stop saying ridiculous things. An entry level decent car is $30,000. So this person who puts $200 a month into insurance and they pay 5% into their 401k because shut up, people should be able to put money into their retirement. Because if you're not doing it now, you're never going to get to start doing it later.
I
So
agree.
after those two things come out of their paycheck and their taxes are paid, they bring home $53,850 a year from a $75,000 paycheck. Average rent in my state for a one bedroom apartment, because an adult should be able to live by themselves, $1,700. That car payment at 6% for an entry level, very
Hey guys, he's saying 6% for the interest. Uh, Most likely you're not gonna find that. You have to have like really good credit and all the debt for to get something for that price. That's crazy. I don't know. Let's see.
reasonable sedan, nothing fancy. A car payment's $579 a month. Car insurance, 240 or so dollars a month for a lot of vehicles in this day and age. You're a young person, you've got a nice job, but the insurance companies still want to screw you over. Food. You only cook at home. You never ever go out. You only cook at home and you
And
only
no way
eat
that
decent
that's
quality
happening.
food because a human being should be allowed to eat decent quality food.
I
You
agree.
pay $879 a month for that. You spend $250 a month in gas. You wear and tear on your car $100 a month. $80 for your phone, $80 for your internet, $175 a month for your electricity, $70 for your water, $20 for your cash. You make 75 grand a year, and outside of a car payment, you have zero debt. Do you know how much money you have left over annually at a $75,000 wage? You do nothing. You don't own a Netflix. You don't go out on a date. You don't pay to go to a park. You don't go watch a
No
movie.
life.
You do nothing. If you can't find it on the internet for free, you don't get to do it. If you can't cook it at home for your 800, you don't get to do it. You have $3,700 left over annually. That's like $320 a month. And there's going to be, well, that's 300. Shut up. Shut your stupid, contrarian, edgelord mouth. That's not a doctor bill, because God knows just because we have insurance doesn't mean that we don't still
Yeah, no,
take
we
our
get the point. We get the point with this guy. He's making good points on that. It's kind of crazy to say that $75,000 is it's like nothing.
I am seriously starting to feel like it's just about impossible to live in the United States. And, I don't want to seem like a lazy bum when I seen this, but I truly feel like it's just about impossible. If you weren't raised and given a good first hand in life, or a support team who will make sure no matter what that you don't fail, or, having people that you're able to fall back on, you're blessed. And if you are one of those people, I highly suggest you thank those people near you, because a lot of us aren't blessed like that. I'm a 23-year-old dad. I've got two kids. I've got about to be a 5-year-old in May, and I've got a newborn too. She's just a few weeks old, like 3 weeks. So my wife gets to stay at home and take care of the babies, and I'm out here trying to get it. I'm on my third shift job now. I'm a security officer for Allied Universal. No, I don't represent the company in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This is just a job. I am not a part of this company. But, and I work here from 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day, 8-hour shift. I get off of this third shift job and I go directly into another job, which I just go around my city, finding side jobs. It might be a clean out one day and I go out there for another 5, 6, 7 hours. It might be landscaping another day. It might be.
You know, that's crazy to think that 23 years old man with a young family doesn't get to enjoy life. That's actually crazy because that's when you're supposed to be starting your family. Ah, that's tough, man. It's tough.
I was just a normal guy. Life was just a 9 to 5 with bills and pressure piled up to the sky. She never asked, she knew I'd been hanging with my wilder friends.
We're not able to make it anymore. There is no 9 to 5. You need to have a side hustle, man.
Hey, I don't give a damn what nobody say. It has never been this expensive to live. Ever. Like in no era when motherfuckers was making $1 an hour, it was never this expensive to live. Eggs, $10 a piece. Like you walk in the store, you get 3 things, you at fucking $65.
I agree
Obviously, I
100% with
just
that.
went, grocery shopping, so I'm venting a little bit, but like this shit don't make no sense.
Yeah.
It really makes absolutely no sense how expensive shit is. Like, so if you ain't got a partner that's really ready and willing to help you out and like really like build this shit together, man, get the fuck on.
Guys, it's kind of crazy because to think when I was a kid, I remember my parents with like $75. They would do grocery shopping for 4 people. My dad, my mom, my sister, and I, and we probably will have like leftovers. It's crazy to think that now $100 is like nothing. You literally go to the grocery store, it's like you taking nothing.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, this is not the time to be taking care of nobody else. I don't give a damn what you say. If the motherfucker ain't helping, they are literally hindering your ability to be able to get shit done.
Yeah, crazy.
So let me chime in on how people are making it right now in America with inflation at an all-time high. People that are making $35 an hour, $40 an hour are still broke. So you wonder, am I the only one feeling this? I know you guys are driving around in your
You know the only one, brother. You know the only one. Brother, everybody's feeling it right now, brother. 35 is the new 15, man. 35 is the new 15, man.
city, seeing people still at the grocery stores, still in the fast food lines, still acting as everything is normal. But there's one thing that, if you haven't noticed, people are not using their money to survive right now. They're using credit cards. And if you look at America's credit card usage right now, it is at an all-time high. Most families are already maxed out. And I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to send everything into let's say, a bad spot. They're not going to pay these credit cards back.
Hopefully
They're
they do.
spending knowing that they're not going to pay these credit cards back. And so now that these people's credit cards are maxed out, and credit companies are no longer giving them money to survive and buy their food, because we don't have any help in our food. If you make money like I make money, you go to that grocery store, or your wife goes, because I haven't been in that grocery store in I don't know how long, but my wife goes to the grocery store. And if we don't spend $600 or $700 on a grocery trip, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's crazy. It sounds crazy, but yeah, that's how it is, man.
We all know the cost of living has spiked in recent years, and now a new study looks at how much it takes just to live comfortably. The study from the financial company Smart Asset defines comfortable as spending 50% of income on necessities such as housing and utilities, 30% for discretionary spending, and 20% for savings.
Who gets to save 20% on $138,000 in New York City? No way. No freaking way. There is no way you ain't saving money. What does rent in New York? That for like a 1 bedroom is like $3,000 or $4,000.
Now, the study found the average salary needed to live comfortably in a major city is $96,500 for one person and roughly $235,000 for a family of four. But listen to this, the numbers are even higher.
Who's making that kind of money? 235,000. There is no way that. There is no way. No way. $235,000. That's a lot of money right there. No freaking way.
This is why I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. Like, I feel like my life, as soon as I wake up, is literally just me putting down a credit card. And it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just like, what are you going to have? And I'm just like, I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just like, oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just like, what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just like, yeah, you have to buy something. Buy something now. It's even getting to the point where, like, I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive, you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy. And then all of a sudden, I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you got to buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're going to suffocate.
I don't know how they do it, guys, but like literally sometimes I think about stuff. I'm not even talking. I'm not texting or anything. And somehow they know what I was thinking. Man, I wonder.
Well, doesn't this just highlight how tough things are in the UK right
All right, let's see the UK. I love the UK, man. Let's see.
now? I mean, we're not far off. Half of the country have £1,000 or less in their savings, and actually 16% of the country have no savings whatsoever. You're talking about 40% of our country are living paycheck to paycheck. They're admittedly one emergency away from potentially going into debt. Of course, it'll be no surprise that 44% of the country are not saving at all in the last year, or have reduced their savings and investments. I mean, here's the average savings by age, and you can see, it generally increases as you get older, up to 55.
Hold on. Why 18 to 24 has 4,700 euro saves? Nah. No freaking way. That doesn't make sense. That's probably because there is some rich young people that come from rich family. There is no way. That average is so out of whack because the discrepancy between the people that have a lot of money and the people got nothing is so big. There's no freaking way.
I'm going to explain to you guys how much more expensive things are today than they were even 3 years ago based off of my current financial situation. So 4 years ago, when I graduated law school, I graduated making $65,000 a year. I was living in a one-bedroom by myself, paying $1,400 a month. After the first 3 months, my boyfriend moved in, and so then we were splitting it, so it was $700 a piece. But he lost his job at one point, and so for 3 months before he got a new one, I was covering the rent all by myself. So it was about 6 months of me paying $1,400 a month for that year-long lease. Now I make about $85,000 a year. I have 2 roommates, and we split the rent 3 ways. And usually my rent is like $950, something around that. So I'm making technically $20,000 more a year. I'm paying roughly the same of what I was paying in rent. And I have never been more stressed out about money in my entire life.
I agree. These times are different. Even with roommate, you're not able to make it. Stuff, man.
Cost of living here in Boston is at an all-time high. And
Guys, not for nothing. Let me tell you something. I'm in the Boston area, in the New England area. Boston is crazy. Well, I'm telling you guys, it's crazy. Just go on Zillow and try to look up the rent in Boston. Insane.
According to one study, you need over 6 figures a year to live comfortably in the city.
That is a money sucker.
A recent study says that a quarter of young residents are planning to leave in the next 5 years.
It keeps on getting more and more expensive. It can be pretty pricey.
I wanted to find out why so many young people are planning to leave. After rent, Most of them spend a lot of their money on groceries, and one name kept coming up as the thing to help fight high cost of living in the city: Trader Joe's.
Normally Trader Joe's.
Mainly Trader Joe's.
I really like Trader Joe's.
I go to Star Market. That is a money sucker.
So I asked one of Boston's top officials about Trader Joe's. Here's what the Chief of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion told me.
If they want to see a Trader Joe's, if they want to see Whole Foods, if they want to see more of our partners like Stop and Shop in their neighborhood, we want to know. We want to go get them.
Edu says that the city is striving toward more job opportunities, more inclusive nightlife, and affordability. Cost of
Ever see the people on this app that are like, if you want to be successful, you need at least 5 sources of income. Bro, I just want to live. I just want to live. I don't even know if I want to do that. No, I'm joking. But it's crazy that a house used to be able to live off of one income. Used to be able to feed the kids, pay the bills, and even go on vacation sometimes off of one income. And now that's a pipe dream. Now it takes 2 parents working 40 hours a week each, and that's just to pay off.
And they won't. Whew. Just think about it. No, not even a couple making, I don't know, 40 hours. Most of the time, somebody got to work overtime, man.
This month's bills. That's not even next month's bills.
Dino, why is the cost of housing still so
I
high?
love this guy's videos. I don't know who's recording him all the time. Maybe his daughter, his wife, I don't know. But I love this guy's video. He always makes good points. Let's see what he says.
Why is the cost of home prices, why is it still high?
Yes.
Supply and demand.
Can you elaborate? We've talked about this before, but not everyone has seen this topic.
Supply, demand. It's a curve. There's an equilibrium price. When you reduce your supply, look at the equilibrium price. It goes up. The price goes up. When you increase your demand, the price goes up even higher. You're not at equilibrium, right? So that's why. It's a simple reason. It's a supply and demand issue. Demands increase because shelter cost is still really high. It's one of the biggest
Guys, right now they say that the houses they going down prices and everything is crashing, blah blah blah. Not in the New England area. If you guys want to see, just go on Zillow. Put any other states in the New England area. These houses are literally still flying off the market, and they going over asking price. It's just ridiculous, and the rents just keep going up and up and up. I remember, like, before COVID, a 3-bedroom apartment in the area that I am used to be what, $950, $1,000, and you will be like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. Right now, the same apartment, literally the same apartment, is over $2,000, like way over $2,000.
contributors to inflation, right? So everyone needs a place to stay, right? Supply is lower because the home builders don't want to build right now due to high interest rates, and developers don't want to build. There's not enough. Inflation has caused the cost of building homes, building shelter, building residential units higher. So
okay, if you are a single person or a couple and you pay rent, have a mortgage, pay car notes, and also pay for childcare, can y'all please stitch this video or comment below and tell me how y'all are doing in the year of 2025? Because I don't understand how y'all are doing this in the year of 2025. Like, what? Like, if y'all's mortgage or rent is $1,300, then your childcare, I've heard, is between like $900 to like $1,400. So mortgage $1,300.
Guys, not for nothing. One of the biggest issues right now, I know everything's expensive, but like the car payments are just insane. Oh, I know people that have these car payments, man, that are like $1,500 for a regular car. For a regular car, a Toyota or something like that, a Hyundai. Man, I don't know. I'm driving a 20 years old truck, so I don't know. I can comment on the car payments. I got no car payment.
Childcare probably like $1,200, and then car notes, I don't even know how much it would be like. And then like that's not even including groceries, gas, electricity, Wi-Fi, insurance.
Guys, something that I always think about it. I know people were able to survive in way less money back in the days. But not for nothing. I think a lot of the bills are created because the way that we want to live. If you think about it, back in the days, you didn't have internet. So you didn't have the internet bill, cell phones. There was one landline in the house for the whole house, the whole family. Now everybody has a phone. Subscriptions. That's another thing. Netflix, Hulu, all this type of crap. Let's put it at that. And I don't know. When you think about it, I know everything's so expensive, but two is the way that we live. We got a lot of stuff going on, and those stuff are considered technically luxury. So I don't know. That's something that I think about all the time because I wonder how my parents used to make it with way less money with two kids, and they were able to invest money and buy properties and all that, build a house. But they didn't have car payments and shit like that.
I moved into my apartment in June 2023. I was paying $1,790 in rent. I just got notified that March 1st, my rent will be increasing to $2,023. And before everyone gets in the comments and says, you're doing this, you're making your choices. Okay, first of all, fuck you. I have a 2-bedroom apartment because I have a 1.5-year-old son, and I got this apartment because I researched every apartment within a 30-mile radius of where my dad lives, because my dad lives with my nephew. I'm the legal guardian of my nephew. And I need to be able to have quick, close access to my nephew. I take him to appointments, I pick him up from school, etc. What's shitty is that this is the market rate. So this is pretty standard if you want a 2-bedroom apartment. And mine's nice because it's new, but it's not fancy. It was made really, like everything's plastic and falling apart. And for all intents and purposes, it's not a quality apartment. It's safe. I love living here, and that's why I'm living here. But I was talking to my landlord, and I was like, listen, I know this isn't your fault. I know you're not setting the prices of these, but what the fuck? This is not like a sustainable, like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to, like, maintain their tenancy? I said,
I agree, but when you look at the insurance and property taxes, I think, guys, it's not only gonna be these crazy mortgages. It's gonna be. I feel like a lot of houses are gonna get lost because the insurance and the taxes, especially when like people that is in a fixed cost of living, like I mean fixed income, like retiree people, they are in big trouble right now.
So I'm in the process of finding a new place, and it doesn't make any sense how this world expects you to survive. Not only do they want the rent, which is an arm and a leg, but they want 3 months, you know, 3 times the income, and then they want a deposit, and then gas is $6 a gallon, and I'm making 19 bucks an hour, bro. You know, on top of bills, on top of food. Somebody needs to make the price of living actually realistic, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything is going up, prices are going higher, but the wages aren't going higher. You know? Like, make that make sense for me.
It feels like he's in California. $6 gas. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's probably California. In California, $19 an hour. That's a tough one.
We are all aware of the fact that the cost of living in California is astronomically high.
There
But
we
for
go.
those of you who grocery shop on a weekly basis for a family of, say, like 3 to 4, what is your average grocery bill? Because for a family of 3, we are spending on average between $300 to $350 a week on groceries. That is over $1,200 a month we are spending on groceries. Granted, I do try to shop mostly organic. I buy whole foods. I try to go as unprocessed as possible. And my son and my boyfriend are human garbage disposals, so they eat a ton of food. But I still feel like that is so ridiculous. And I'm at the point where I'm wondering if it's even worth it to grocery shop, or would it be more cost effective to just eat out every day? That is
That's
a
something that
ridiculously high.
I was thinking about that a few weeks ago. Sometimes it might be cheaper to eat out, like take out, go and get something takeout, not like a sit down restaurant that you have to tip and all that. Sometimes cheaper. But that's actually not that bad, $1,200 in California. Damn, man. This is crazy. I don't know people how people's doing making it right now.
I want to know, why did my grocery bill go up $150 and I'm buying the same shit?
That's so true.
What happens when the price of bread becomes $25 and niggas start killing each other over ham sandwiches?
That's where we're going.
That's where we are.
Right.
Yeah, crazy.
I want to know.
Getting a six-figure salary didn't bring me peace. It actually brought me paranoia. Let me tell you what kickstarted my financial literacy journey. In my early 20s, investing was something I did casually. After buying all my fancy gadgets, I would take whatever money was left over and save it or buy stocks with it. I felt good because I was still thinking about my future, but I wasn't being intentional whatsoever. The real game changer came later. Everything changed for me in 2022. I landed my first professional job as a junior software engineer, making $75,000.
This is insane. Something happened.
Only 3 states in the U.S. have the highest living cost. The last one, no one want to live. Number 3, Hawaii. Hawaii has one of the highest home prices in the country, 87% higher than the national average. In 2025, the average home price in Hawaii will be $1.5 million, and rent.
How a regular person is gonna be able to afford that kind of $1.5 million? 1.5. Imagine that you are from Hawaii and you never left the island. You never been out of the island and you're not able to survive or live in the same area that you grew up. That's crazy.
Rent will be more than $5,300 per month. If you don't have enough money, make sure you don't travel there. Number 2, Texas. Its items in this state cost 49% more than the others. You can hardly buy cheap necessity. Its high cost of healthcare and transportation also makes it unaffordable for many residents. Although
I don't know about Texas. Texas is still cheaper than a lot of places. I don't know where this guy got this data from. I mean, Austin, Texas is pretty expensive, but like there's a lot of cheap areas in Texas.
they are able to receive $300 million in community subsidies, it doesn't seem to have much of an impact. Before revealing number 1, please let me know in the comments section where you live. Number 1, California. It has the highest cost of living in the U.S., which leads to it having the most homeless people. Meanwhile, the state's taxes are significantly higher than other states by 10%.
California, I don't know what they do with their money. I had no idea what they do with their money.
As if living wasn't already expensive, and everyone always tells us, CNBC decided it was a good idea to put together the top 15 most expensive states to live as a single person. And it is not California, New York, or Hawaii. Before you keep moving, I want you to pause this video and tell me what state you think it is, because let me tell you, I was not right. It's Massachusetts. Massachusetts. You have to make $60,000 annually to live alone in Massachusetts, which happens to be the most expensive state in the U.S. According to
$60,000 to be able to live by yourself? No freaking way. No freaking way. When everything in Massachusetts, a one-bedroom apartment is like almost $2,000. That makes no sense. $60,000. You need way more than that to be able to survive and have a normal life in Massachusetts.
Guys, I was drinking the Kool-Aid, the Florida Kool-Aid, where I was like, oh my God, everything has to be so expensive. And like, you can't get a one-bedroom apartment for under $2,500. I am no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. My current rent is $3,050. Now, yes, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. But moving forward, I'm going to be moving north.
Kiki, enough with that noise. Kiki, I really can't hear that anymore. Stop, stop. You do not need to scrape your litter box.
Come on, girl. What are you doing?
Anyway, my new rent is going to be somewhere in the $1,900 to $2,100 range because this is getting out of control. I mean, imagine what I can do with an extra $1,000 a month. the opportunities are
I always
endless.
say that life happens. She's gonna save $1,000 on rent a month, but who knows? She might increase her lifestyle, so who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
No, 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 no.
With the cost of living being so high, millennials
This guy's great. This guy's great. This is for us, the millennial. Let's see what this guy. This guy is like. He does a great job explaining everything about economy. This is a kind of old video. This is like 2 years old. But just think about it. This is 2 years old. But things are way more expensive now than when he made this video.
millennials get a lot of crap for overspending. So I figured being a millennial 35 and my wife being 35, I wanted to go over what our bills are and you can let me know if we're overspending or if we're kind of right in the pocket. So my wife and I have no kids. We are homeowners here in Orlando, Florida, and here are our monthly bills. So the most expensive is our house. So it's $3,300 a month. That includes the principal, interest, property taxes, electricity, internet, everything house, $3,300. Next on the list is going to be kind of surprising to some, but we spend $1,200 a month on groceries. And I broke this down in another video. We spend about 90 bucks.
And that's probably the housing, like the house is probably way more expensive now because the hurricane, that insurance, they probably paying $4,500 right now. They probably are paying around $4,500 for that same house.
Bucks every 3 days, and then we also would get paper towels, dog food, soaps, things like that throughout the month, and it equals about $1,200. Next, we lease 2 cars. They're both new Volkswagens, 2023, and the total payment for both of them combined is $850 a month, which I don't
Not for nothing. That's actually no horror for 2 cars. I don't think that. I mean, they are Volkswagens. They suck, but yeah, that's not bad.
think is too shabby. I think we got a great deal. We've next on the list is $574, which is the accumulation of debt payments, and then $350. I guess we put as personal care. My wife's hair, eyebrows, my haircut, nails, things like that. It's about $350. Next on the list is $200 for car insurance for both the cars.
That's something that is actually not bad. $200. $200. I don't know. That's not horrible. That's actually pretty good.
Also $200 is our Maltese Shih Tzu. He's 15 years old, so we give him.
Oof. Oof. I love dogs. I love pets and all that, but $200 a month. $200 a month. $200 a month. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I could deal with that.
Medicine, and he also gets groomed, and that's $200 a month. Our cell phones combined are $173. Our gas is $150 a month, and then our internet services are $80. So that's Netflix, Zoom, Dropbox, and a couple other things is $80. So that totals about $7,100 a month.
And that's, you guys gotta think, that's $7,100. That gotta be take home. No growth. Like, that's after taxes that you have to come up with that quantity.
To maintain this lifestyle. However, that doesn't include date nights, savings, investing, dues that we owe, or accountant, or gifts, or weddings, or anything like that. So technically, it's about $8,000 that we need, and then
Don't have a life. All right, guys, leave your opinion down below. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment. Make sure to like the video. Wow, crazy. Thank you guys for watching.